Okay, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before that, I'm so sorry today. Okay, hello guys. Here I want to explain about developing language test or non-test. Before that, I'm so sorry if there is a mistake what I explained or wrong. So let's get started. Before developing language test or non-test, we must know about the problem of the student. We must know the environment of the class, okay, to develop language test or non-test. Okay, so the next teacher will have enough research and evidence available in their program that provisions placement, achievement, and diagnosis tests and can be developed and fit the goals of the program and the ability level and the needs of the student. Okay, this one I have thought that is dependent about our goals. Okay, when we want to develop, we must much about the goals. Then we must know about the environment of our class, the problems. We must find about the problems. Okay. The next, after that, we must know about the item. What is the item? Item is the basic unit of language testing. The item is sometimes difficult to define, sometimes of item like multiple choice or true-false items and relative easy to identify as the individual test question that anyone can recognize as discrete unit. Okay, that's multiples to all false that can be a task. And for other more interrogative types of language tests such as dictation, interview, role plays, or conversation, the individual item unit may prove more difficult to identify. It can be called non-test. Okay, it's like observation and others. Okay, the next, developing non-reference language test or NRT. Okay, there are four types. The first is item format analysis. In the format analysis, testers focus on the degree to which each item is properly written to that is measure all and only the desired content. So we must focus about the format of the item. Okay, is it a correct answer? Is there, and then is it the format correctly matches with the goals? Okay, we must know about the format. Is the writing the student level or proficiency the same student level or not? Have ambiguous term and statement been avoided? Have negative or double negative been avoided? Does the item avoided giving clues that could be used in answering an other item? Okay. Okay, the format like this one. Okay, and others. Okay, the first teacher will of course want their item format to match purpose and content of the item. Okay, then the format is different with the goals. Okay, the materials is about A and the format of the question about B is different. We must matches. Okay, that the issue of making sure that each question has only one correct answer is not as obvious as it might at the first seem. Okay, the next, each item should be written at approximately the level of proficiency of the student who will take the class. Ambiguous term and tricky language should avoid it unless the purpose of the item is test ambiguity. Likewise, the use negative and double negative may not less confusing and should be avoided unless the purpose of the item is test negative. Teachers should also avoid giving the clues. Okay, avoid the giving the clues in one item that will help student to answer another item. Okay, the next, the second type is receptive response items. Receptive response. We must know about the response of the student. A response item requires the student to select a response rather than actually produce one. So there are many choices. Produce not one, but it can be two, three or four. Okay, like this one, two or fours. There are two choices like this as symbol. is true or false. Items are typically written as systematic and student must decide whether the statement are true or false. There are two question problems shown, like the examples. Mr. Ryan is ugly or not? Is it true or false? Mr. Ryan is ugly. Is it true or false? You can take it the example. Okay. The next is multiple choice. Items are made up of an item system or the main part of the item at the top. Correct answer, which is obviously the phrase, usually A, B, C, or D. That will be continued correct, and the structure, which are those choices that will be continuous incorrect. Okay. The next is matching item present the student with two columns of information. The student must define the identify matches between the two sets of the information. Like this one, matches. Like a farmer is matched in the farms, as like a sailor matches on the ship, as like pilot matches on the plane. Okay, they will be matches two column or two choices. Okay, the next one. Okay, the third type is productive response item. Productive response item require the student actually to produce response rather than just select them respectively. Fill in, sort a response and test. In the fill in, the student will fill some of the sentence or complete sentence. Okay, this some of the question is the required response concise. Number two, is there sufficient context to convey the intent of the question to the student? Are the blank of stand blank? Does the main body of the question present of the blank? Has the list acceptable response been developed? Response or response is the item formatted the only one reflecting conscious answer is possible. Next task is the student task clearly defined. Is the task certainly narrow or and broad for the time available? Okay, fill in item. Are those running into word or phrase is in replaced by a blank in a sentence or longer text? And the student job is to fill the missing word or phrase. So the student filling the blank and answer using a sentence or phrases. Okay, is it this one? Like example, Mr. Ryan, blah blah blah, water. Okay, you can blah blah. It can be about the word. Okay, the next one is about sole response item. So response item here usually question that the student can answer in the few phrases or sentence. Okay, this is sole response can answer the few phrases or sentence. The next is task item are defined here as any a group of fairly open-ended item type that requires student to perform a task in the language that's being tested. Okay, the next one on the last type is analytic skill for writing composition tasks. Okay, we must analyze the skill, the writing of the student ability. Like this one. The topic is about organization, is introduction, body, and conclusion. We must analyze about the student's skill when they write about a project title, objective, introductive, paragraph, topic is stated, lead to body, transitional expression use, arrangement of material planned, supporting evidence given for generalization. Okay, if the student write like this one, they will get the score 20 or 18, or they will go excellent or good. Okay, if the student writes some absent, just only absent of the introduction or conclusion, no apparent or organization of body, therefore lack of the supporting evidence, the writer hasn't made any effort to organize the composition, they will get low score, 5 to 1. Okay. The next one, when we analyze the skill about the flow of the ideas contents, the student write essay, address the essay topic, the ideas are concrete and thoroughly develop no extraneous material essay reflected thought. Okay, they will get the high score or actually good. Okay, the next, if they write essay completely inadequate and doesn't reflect college level work, they will get low score. Okay, do you get it? Okay, the next one is talk about grammar. When they write the grammar, native fluency in the English grammar, correct, use relative clause, proposition, modal, article, verb form, and tense sequences correctly, they will get the high score or excellent. Okay, if they write some several grammar problem interface greatly with the message, reader can't understand what the writer. When we understand about the essay or about the topic of the sentence or the sentence, they will get the low score or lower. Okay. If talk about punctuation, spelling, and mechanic, if the student write the correct use English writing convention, life and the right margin of the needed capital, paragraph, indentation, punctuation, and spelling very neat, they will get the excellent score or the gold score. But if the student write complete this grade for English writing convention, paper illegible, obvious capital missing, no margin, several spelling problems, they will get the low score. Non-reference item statistic. Okay, two statistical analysis can help in analyzing non-reference item. Okay, there are two: item visual analysis and item discrimination analysis. Okay, item visibility usually called EF. Item discrimination usually called ID. Okay, EF and ID is item facility and item discrimination. Okay, in item facility analysis, okay, also called item difficult or item easiness. Okay, easiness is all statistical index used as equivalent to percentage of students who correctly answer given item. As formula, it looks like this. Okay, when we look for item facility, the formula is and correct and totaled. Okay, and correct different and totaled. And correct is number of students answer correctly, and total is number of students taking a test. Okay, like this example. If this is the example. Okay, this is the item data analysis. There are 16 students: Robert, Millie, Dean, Zenon, Kuhn, Bill, Surki, Randy, Elizabeth, Jenny, Elinia, Archie, Lindsay. Okay, there are 16. Okay, and there are 10 of items. There are 16 students and there are 10 of student. Okay, the first item on the one item, that is all of the student can answer correctly the one item, just only Lindsay. Okay, that's no answer or incorrect. Okay, the item 2, only 1 2 3 4 8, there are 8 student can answer correctly. Okay, in the numbers 3, okay, the item 3, there are 7 student correct, 5 all of the student correctly, and 10 item 10 all of the student incorrect. Okay, this one. Okay, the example, the calculation, and if for any item will follow a consistent pattern. Consider item 3. Last time we can look at 3, only 7 students can answer correctly. Okay, so 7 divided to 16. Okay, that is 43.75 or 45%. With this sample, if index in hand, the teacher knows that about 44% correct answer item 3 correctly. Okay, the next item, discrimination or ID. Okay, it's called ID. Indicate the degree to which an item separates the student who perform well from those who perform poorly. Okay, so we must separate the student. There are two groups. Okay, last time they are in the up. Okay, usually it can be upper, middle, and lower. Okay, In the upper, okay, let's look table 3 and 4. Okay, this is the upper group, Robert, Millie, okay, and the end. Okay, this in middle, and the last is lower, Elizabeth, Jenny, Elenia, Archie, and Lucy. Okay, we must separate it between two group, upper and lower group. The next one, okay, guys, okay, ID, item description for initial item. Next, if upper, item face the upper group in the whole task. If lower, item face for the lower group on the whole task. Okay, guys. Okay, the next, in table 3.6, item statistic. Okay, this table, last time, there are 10 items, and this EF is total percentage about item facility, and then in the middle this is the upper group. Okay, this is the upper group, and then this one is talk about in the undergroup. Okay, undergroup and upper group. Okay, lower, sorry. Okay, this one is talk about lower group, and this one talk about upper group, lower, upper, and this one the result of ID. Okay, item discrimination. Okay, last time the item facility is 94%, 56%. Last time I give you example is 44% in item 3. Number 4 is 50%, 5 is 100%. Okay, this is the percentage. Okay, this one, the upper group. Okay, the upper group, let's reset. The upper group is Robert and friends. The lower group is Elizabeth and Lindsay. Okay, and friends. Okay, Elizabeth and Robert. Robert is upper and Elizabeth is lower. Okay, Robert group, there are 5 students. All of them is correct, so they get 100%. Okay, in Elizabeth group there are 1 student is incorrect, so they are got 80%. Okay, last time there's only 2 so get 20%, and 1 is getting 2 is 60%. Okay, the next one, this, so the upper and lower is minus. Like this example, guys. Upper 100% is minus 80%. So ID discrimination, the result is 20%. Okay. Last time number 3. Okay, the upper group, Robert friends, get 60%. So the lower group is 20%. 60 minus 20 is 40%. Okay, do you get it, guys? And others. Okay, and others. Okay, this one, the upper number of upper is 100%. The lower also correct. Elizabeth is correct also 0%. The ideal discrimination. Okay, guys. Okay, this is item 6. Okay, item 6 is 80%. The upper Robert friends. Okay, and then the lower is 20. Okay. This is 20, so the result is 60. Okay, 80 minus 20 is 60. Okay, this is percentage of the item facility. Okay, you got it? Okay, the next one is NRT, NRT development and improvement project, non-reference task development and improvement project. The development or improvement of a non-reference language task is a major undertaking like many other aspects of language curriculum development. Okay, the statesman or recording Apple has suggested this following guidelines for making decisions based on item discrimination. Okay, 40 and up is very good item. 30 to 39 is reasonably good, but presumably subject is improvement. Okay, 20 to 29% marginal item usually needed a being subject improvement. Below 19, poor item to be rejected or improved by revision. Okay, the next one is considered item table 6.3.6, with 3 items from the pencil one in the table would be best to select for a new revised version of the task. Item 4 and 6 seem like a good candidate for retention. Is a revised version the task because they both have EF that are close to 50% and have the highest ID. This is item, but find other items to be kept. Okay, let's see item 3 and item 8, guys. Okay, this is item 3 and item 8. Item 3 is 44% of item. Okay, 40 the ID discrimination, and item 8 is 40 the same. So they are average-able or 40 and up. Very good item. Okay, that's very good item. So range achievable has the highest available ID discrimination of this item. That's remain the highest item, guys. Okay. The next one is talk about distractor efficiency analysis. Okay. Even after careful selection of the item to be used is brave and improved version of the task, the job of improving the task may be not finished, particularly for multiple choice items. Okay. The next one, table 3.7, distractor efficiency, guys. Okay, this is last time number of item. EF is item facility ID item discrimination last time. This is the result. This is the result, guys. Okay, last time the result of item number 3 is 44%, or ID discrimination item discrimination is 40%. Okay, the high, middle, and low. The high group Robert and friend. The middle group and low group is Elizabeth and friend. Okay, last time one is 100%. The group is correctly. Okay, the middle group is correct too. The low group, because there is one student incorrect, so they get 80%, guys. Okay, this is the table, guys. Distractor efficiency, guys. Okay. So item 3 and 4 look like a good item with well-centered if and relatively high ID. The high group is answered but this item correctly, with the middle group doing less well and the low group doing poorly. Okay, thus this item appeared to be functioning well less for an NRT. Okay, 3 and 4. Okay. 3 and 4 the high ID, the high group is answered both item correctly. Wait, guys, 3 and 4. Okay, this is item 3 and 4. 40 the item first, the item facility and the item discrimination is the same. They available, so this is got the high. Okay, last number 4 is 50 and the I discrimination is 100%. So this is available, guys. It's different this one. The item free item facility is 64, it is 0, so it's not high, it's not a fridge. Okay, note also in the item 3 and 4 that 3 distractions same. Okay, so between item facility and item discrimination it must be synced. Okay, to be about a fairly attractive. Those students who didn't answer it correctly, as like item 5, guys. Okay, item 5. Let me see. Item 5 is the item facility is 100, but ID discrimination is 0 because of all of the student. Because of all of the student can answer correctly. Everyone, all of. So the item might be improved, making the distractor more attractive. Improve or developing of the item, because what maybe this is very easy. Okay, guys. Okay, and the next is developing Cartesian reference language task, or it can be called CRT. Okay, CRT. Recall that a central difference between NRT, non-reference task, and CRT, Centurion no reference task, that NRT typically produces normal distribution. So the norm reference test is better one than CRT, while CRT don't necessarily do so. It's not important, okay, this CRT. Its contract, CRT may not necessarily produce scores that are normally distributed. In fact, a CRT that is designed to measure student achievement may produce scores that are predominantly high. Item quality analysis, and with the NRT, the quality of CRT can only be as good as the item that are on it. Remember that CRT category of the test is commonly used for testing achievement and diagnosis, both of which are fairly specific to particularly programmed. Okay guys, because time is over. I'm sorry if I made a mistake. See you.